Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Sorry about the hour late start, guys. This programming tutorial is still kind of new to me. I still have some trouble understanding how long it takes to set up before the stream starts. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Vencabot. Intro to Python action. My name is David. The agenda for today, K-Rike, is we're going to be making a little Pokemon clone again. This time I'm going to follow through and actually make something, workable. But we're going to limit ourselves to using these tools here in the beginner programmer's tool set that I drafted up, which is why our fucking stream is so late. I was always more shit to set up for the programming stream than there's for gameplay, obviously. So today we're going to be using some variables, simple data types like integers, strings, and booleans, mathematical operations, combining textual strings, and comparisons of integers like greater than, less than, and simple program flow logic like if, else, elif, while, break, continue type stuff, simple built-in functions like print, input, string, and int, and of course making our own functions today. It's going to be the most complicated thing we do today. This is a continuation of our last Intro to Python stream. I'm not going to be stopping quite as much as I did then to kind of go off on tangents. Instead, my plan for today is to use these tools, make a little game, talk my way through it for you guys, and if you guys have questions, by all means, definitely ask. Yeah, 2 more hours and MapleStory 2, yes! Trying to make Pokemon, well, just a simple example program. It's not really, I'm not going to try and make Pokemon, but as an educational tool for anybody that might be watching on YouTube or watching live, I'm going to try and make like a little simple Pokemon clone-ish thing. Is it a coincidence that code fits around your head? No, it's not. That's why I took so long to set the stream up. I was like testing things and looking at things and moving things around, and yeah, it was, it's always more of a pain than I think. That's why we're an hour late today. Either you go all the way or don't bother. Dicks! Alright, I'm already an hour late. I'm in no fucking mood, alright? I had to eat so fast. Couldn't even brush my fucking teeth yet. I gotta do that before MapleStory. Ugh. It's okay though, guys. But yeah, so we're gonna start right about now, I think. So yeah, Dicks, we're gonna be playing MapleStory 2 after this stream ends, and I think once you're in Lilith Harbor, you're free to be free. Okay, so let's see here. So we're gonna start. Yeah, Python does rock, Razor. You ain't lying, dude. You ain't lying. So we're gonna start with some variable definitions, right? Well, let's take some notes here. Our goal for today is to have 2 Pokemon with 4 moves each. Oh, no, excuse me, no, that's too ambitious. Too ambitious for today. Let's say is to have, our Pokemon with 4 moves fight against a Pokebot, which only has 1 attack that it uses repeatedly. This is because we don't have access in our beginner's programmer's tool set here. Our first programming tool set. We don't have access to random numbers yet. Because we have no random numbers, we can't really have the other Pokemon attack us with a variety of moves. So I'm gonna just have to have 1 move. Kind of be simplified. Slim fast? More like slim fat. We'll make one of them Cyndaquil, Dicks, for you. We'll be using Cyndaquil. We'll fight that Cyndaquil against a Pokebot. Not the official database, no. So we're just going to be making a very simple little... we're going to start this and finish this today. It's not going to be a real game of Pokemon. It's going to be a simple RPG with Pokemon as a basis, which is to say it's going to have 4 attacks. They're going to have PP and things like that. So, let's start off... so let's take some even more notes, right? I'm going to take a little more notes here. Our Pokemon and the Pokebot need attributes such as HP, attack, defense, our Pokemon's moves all require PP. What else do we need here? The game will take place over a number of turns until either our Pokemon or the enemy Pokebot faint from loss of HP. You forgot the gender. What? What have I done? Give it real-time combat, HD graphics. So then we're gonna go turn-based, and we're gonna save the HD graphics for next time. We're gonna do this with just text, I think. So we have a simple goal for today, right? We're gonna, so let's get started, right? We need a Pokemon. Let's give our Pokemon, Pokemon name. We're gonna call him Cyndaquil. right? And Pokemon type, he'll be a fire type. What's up, Zanzu? Yeah, about an hour late, Zanzu, but we're here. Better late than never, I guess, right? Okay, and how about we give him like, Pokemon HP? We'll give him like 55 HP. So if you guys are, haven't watched the previous stream, what we're doing here is we're doing some variable assignment. We can name the variables whatever we want. We're just making random variable names. I'm calling them, name, type, HP, just for, that makes it simpler for me. And then use an equal sign to say we're going to start assigning data to that name. The data we assign follows. Now we can have textual strings that are surrounded by quotation marks. That's to say, I want the Pokemon name to be the text Cyndaquil. I want his type to be the text Fire. I want his HP to be a number, though. So see, there's no quotation marks there. Now, if we did this, he would have 55 HP, but you couldn't do math to it. You cannot do math to text. All right, so if we did like 55 minus 10, nothing would happen. It'd crash the program. But what we can do is you can do 55 minus 10. That will equal 45. Blips swirly glasses? No object oriented today, Swirly. No objects today. So we have our beginner's tool set here for our, it's like our first day programming. Imagine it, it's a bunch of, let's say we're totally new to programming. We have these tools at our disposal today. So we've got simple data types. We've got some program flow logic, if, else, elif, while. And then we've got a few functions, not even that many functions. And then we're going to be making our own functions right here. It's going to be the most complicated thing we do is make our own functions. That's the most complex as we're getting. But we're having no objects yet, no classes or anything like that, no attributes. Give this HP a -0. A -0? Yes, you can. Because in Python, the minus symbol, of course, it just means subtract. So -0 just means 0 minus 0. It's going to give you 0. But of course, it wouldn't really work for our program. If Pokemon has -0 health, it wouldn't really suit us in any way. But I think it won't crash the program, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we can try it. Let's try it right here. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Let's just say, our number equals -0. Okay, then we're going to just print our number. It's going to be 0, right? Yeah, so yeah, it's just, -0 is just 0. Lib Jeefy says, hey, Jeefy, how's it going? Pretty good, so Jeefy beat me to it. Up here, Jeef. Long time no see, homeboy. How you been? How's it going is one thing, but how's it been, dude? You didn't preempt that question. What have you been up to? Let's see. Let's clear the screen there. Life has been slow, says Zanzu. I'm slow. My body is on fire now. Your body's on fire? Why is that, Zanzu? Did you work out or something? Hopefully that's the only problem. Hope it's not a medical issue. So his HP, let's give him 55 health. What else does he need? Well, he needs attack power, right? So we're going to give him, like, Pokemon ATK. We'll give him, let's see here. He's got 55 health. We'll give him, like, 8 attack power. These numbers are come up off the top of my head here. They don't mean anything yet. And we'll give him some defense. Why not, right? We'll give him, like, 2 defense. I'm thinking that we're going to use defense as, like, a simple... It'll just... whatever damage the opponent does, we'll take off the defense amount. So if they do 8 damage, we'll take off 2. We'll do 6 HP damage. Wow, Dix. Says, makes sense. You're always hot. Get a roam, you two. Okay, so we got Pokemon defense, we got attack. That's really all I really care about right now. I was going to resub on Patreon, but Twitch decided to take it first. Yo, what's up, GV? Thanks for the sub, dude. So we must have the auto renew on Twitch, huh? That suits me just fine. Let's go, Jeefy Beefy. You still playing a lot of Third Strike, Jeefy? Maybe over there on our friend N Cruz's stream. This chat room. No role playing in the chat, please, Dix, please. All right, so he's got some basic stats now. He's got HP, attack, and defense. That's all he needs, really, right? I renewed 2 weeks ago, but I've been super busy. Okay. Turk says your name would be funnier if it was Queefy Beefy. That's true, but it wouldn't represent his actual real life name as well. It represents his personality better, though. Yuck, 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 yuck. I've been super busy, so I don't really understand how Twitch subs work. So it renewed a long time ago, but you finally got the notification. Beefy Queefy is when I bone it at an angle. Wow. Wow. Gross. Okay, so let's give him some attacks, right? Let's give him some attacks. First, let's give him Scratch. Let's give him, well, let's not fuck with that yet. He's got stats. Let's give the Pokebot some stuff. So Pokebot, Pokebot's type will be normal. And a Pokebot HP, it's going to be like, I don't know, we'll give him more health than our Pokemon, right? Let's give him like, 68 health. And the Pokebot's attack power, he's going to have a lower attack power by a little bit. Let's give him like 6. Well, I can't type for shit. You get the option to announce your sub when you're actually online, so I can make you say, thank you, good stuff. I appreciate that, dude. I like when guys, it makes it more fun. Sometimes it's kind of hard to know sometimes. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of hard to know when, we get like 20 subs per month, and I only see so many of them on the screen, come up on stream. So I'm like, where are these subs coming from? But I appreciate the, whether they're announced or not, I appreciate them. He's going to have defense too, right? Pokebot's going to have some defense. We'll give him, even more defense than our guy. We'll give him 4 defense. Cool. So he's pretty beefy. The Pokebot's kind of like a tank. He's got a lot of health, a lot of defense. Plan on playing MapleStory 2, Zanzu? I think Zanzu might play with us. I kind of got that impression from Discord. I could be wrong about that, though. So we'll give him a name, too. Just to be so we have all the same stats. Pokebot name equals, we'll call him like a Rattata. Is that how you spell Rattata? Or is it like that? Rattata Pokebot. So he's a normal type. He's kind of tanky. He's more tanky than a Rattata would be, but it's whatever. He's a tanky-ass Rattata. He's a thick-ass Rattata, dude. Alright, so let's save our game. Now, if we run this script, nothing will happen yet. Right, I'll demonstrate. Let's do pi, Pokemon day 2.pi. Boom. So we ran it, nothing happens. That's because it's saving a lot of data into variable names, but nothing actually happens that we can see. So if we want to do something we can see, let's print off some data. We're going to use the print function, and we're going to say, Pokemon stats set up. Right, so now we know the Pokemon stats got set up. If we go over here and run this again, dude, now we got something happening that we can see. What's up, Klaus? Hope I didn't miss much. No, dude. We're podcast started about an hour late, so we haven't really accomplished anything. All we've done here is we're setting up some variables here. Our goal for today is to make a simple Pokemon game where we have a Pokemon on our side that faces off against a Pokebot. The Pokebot's just a simplified Pokemon. He has the same stats we do, but he only has 1 attack. We're going to have 4 different attacks with their own PP amounts. Yeah, it's Albdat. Thank you, Kay, right? Yeah, this music is my friend Albdat's music. That's at, well, let's go check him out, actually. We can go here. And we can go to, albdat.bandcamp.com. I recommend you guys do. aubdat.bandcamp.com. He has a new EP out, Oxyfic Times, or Oxyfic Timus. Available for free, 4 tracks. Kind of ambient music, kind of droning. His new stuff is a little bit more rhythmic, though. It's got some more drums and some more chords and stuff, but it's still very much ambient, and I enjoy it very, very much. He's very gracious, a good friend of mine. Offered to let me use his music on stream. I think it's pretty good for programming. It makes it a bit more atmospheric, I feel like. Helps me concentrate to have that droning in the background. It might be a little bit loud, though. So I'm going to knock that down a peg. A little bit. Yes, and my friend Albdat's music. What am I missing in the chat here? Have you added this STD stat? Sheefy's X has max. Wow. What's up, Corkscrew? Long time no see, man. Are these being archived? They are, Corkscrew. Yes, they're available on YouTube at youtube.com/VenkaBotArchive. The last episode just went live a couple days ago, where we went through the basics. It's kind of a similar episode to this. Basically, this is a review episode. But the last episode, we kind of touched on the very basics of programming. Let me actually minimize this. Including, variables, definitions, function definitions, basic program flow, like if, else, elif statements, logic, all the same things we're covering today, but in a little bit more depth last time. Today we're going to be kind of moving a bit faster and answering questions, of course, and talking through what I'm doing, but I'm going to try and get a game actually working today. Hey, he's from Texas, K-Reich. Hit him up at TC640B on Twitter. That's at TC640B. Very nice guy. Okay, so we've set up some variables here, right? But right now they don't do anything. They do jack fucking shit right now. They just have a bunch of variables, some data floating. So basically programs are always a combination of data on one hand and operations on the other hand, right? So basically you have data and you use that data to do some stuff. Right now we've got the data, we're not using it yet. We can change that if you like, though. So programs always flow from top to bottom. So we've got some comments at the very top. These just are ignored by Python. They're only for us to read. You can tell because they start with this little hashtag or a pound symbol or number sign if you like. It's that means that Python will ignore that entire line. So we have comments there. This kind of gives us our goals for today. And then it follows down and defines this stuff in order. So it defines the name, the type, HP, attack, defense, then it goes, this blank line doesn't mean anything. Then we have, the next Pokebots type stuff. Pokebot name, Pokebot type, Pokebot HP, attack, and defense. Then we print this thing at the very bottom. Then our program ends. Nothing left down here, right? I mean, if we want, we can do another print statement, We can say, here's another print statement that follows afterward. We can save that and run it. But yeah, basically when it runs out of commands, the program ends. Boom, see? Pokemon stat set up, another print statement, nothing. We're done. Anybody else getting a Soul Calibur 6 next week on Steam? Not me. I think I'm probably not gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it at least once a month with my friend Dave from Poverty Game Night. He's gonna be teaching me how to play, I guess. Okay, so basically we've got the data, right? But we're not doing anything with it yet. She says, well, you should. Well, I'll let you get it first. You can tell me how good it is or how much it sucks. So we're gonna do this data. Well, the first thing we're gonna do is we have to ask the user what attack they want to do. Right? Let's tell the user first what attacks they have. So let's first of all, let's say, let's print off, we'll say Pokemon name plus another string. So Pokemon name is a string, right? It's Cyndaquil. Plus another string. We're going to say available moves are. Okay. Here's what we've done. We've combined two strings, right? We have Pokemon name, which is a string of text right here. And then we have plus sign, means combine the strings together. As you can see here, this is a combining textual strings with the plus sign. We had another string right here. This is available moves are. So if we actually save this code and run it, you'll see what happens, right? There you go. It says Cyndaquil's available moves are. So it's Pokemon name plus apostrophe S available moves are. Here's where we're going to print off his moves. So let's print off, we're going to indent 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to say, like, he's going to have Scratch. Let's put it in lowercase. Scratch. He's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. How about Flamethrower? Thanks for the follow, Michael654. If you have any questions, let me know, dude. Like, if you go to our YouTube channel at YouTube, at youtube.com/Vencabot archive, we have a few other tutorials there where I explain things a little bit slower. I'm going kind of fast today, but by all means, if you have questions, let me know. I don't have a comeback that beats no you. It's unbeatable. Wow, Dix has a pretty handy image library there. That's pretty quick. He's going to also have 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to have Tail Whip. Is that how it's spelled? One word? I don't know. And he's also going to have Growl. Okay? So Scratch does normal damage. Low and normal damage. Let's give him Tackle, right? Isn't that the most basic attack? Tackle. So I'm not really a huge Pokemon nerd, but I'm going to try and use that as kind of like a basis. Flamethrower is it's a special fire attack. Then he has Tail Whip, which lowers defense, and he has Growl, which lowers HP. Collects SpongeBob memes. I hope that's. I mean, I hope you have like a '90s style bookmarks folder full of SpongeBob memes. When I was a kid, who among us were kids back in the '90s, and before we back when the favorites bar was still kind of a novel idea, just save things in favorites all the time. I think a lot of old people still do that. Let's try this code now. Okay, so we have a list of our moves, right? Simple available moves are Tackle, Flamethrower, Tail Whip, and Growl. Exactly, lowers defense. Yeah, lowers defense, not HP directly. Yeah, I think Growl lowers. I think Tail Whip lowers defense, and Growl lowers attack, right? Tail Whip lowers defense, and Growl lowers attack. If I'm not mistaken. We have 4 moves anyway. So let's give him some more attributes. Right? Let's give him, let's say, Cyndaquil is going to have Pokemon Move 1 PP. Let's give him, like, I don't know, 10 tackles. Pokemon Move 2 PP. Flamethrower, we're going to fly 5 flamethrowers. Pokemon Move 3 PP. We'll give him, I don't know, 12 Tail Whips. And Pokemon Move 4 PP. We'll give him, like, 8 Growls. If you guys are not Pokemon players, PP means how many times you can use that move. So you can only use Tackle 10 times. You can only use Flamethrower 5 times. Alright, so now he's got PP. And that's what he's got. Cool. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask the user what move they want to use. And we're going to use the input function, as you can see right here. We've only got 4 functions available to us here today because we don't know any better. We're still beginner programmers, right? We have print, which we've already been using here. Print takes one argument, which is to say it takes one piece of data between its parentheses. And when you have an argument for a function, that means that's the data that it needs to operate. In print's case, its argument is what you want to see on the screen. So in this case, you see print has one argument that goes between the parentheses of it, and it means print off this data, which is tackle or flamethrower. The empty space there is just create some indentation here for us visually. But we're going to use another argument now. We're going to use another function, the input function. So we're going to say, input. And here's our argument, right? So the arguments go between the parentheses of a function. Our argument is going to be our prompt to the user. We're going to say, what move should space end of our string. We're going to add another string in, which is our Pokemon's name, plus another string, space, use. Right? So we have 3 strings here being added together. We have what move should, is what we call a string literal. When you say a literal in programming, what you mean is it's not behind a variable. It's not hidden behind a variable. It's just right there, on the line of code. Yeah, growl lowers attack, exactly, corkscrew blow. And I think tail whip. Is it called tail whip or tail wag? I think it's tail whip lowers defense. But yeah, so we have a string literal here, which is, right here. What move should. Then we have a string variable right here, Pokemon name. It's not a literal because it points to some data. The data up here is the literal. Our Pokemon's name right here, Cyndaquil. There's a literal right there, but this Pokemon name is a variable now. Then we add in another string literal, which is use, question mark. Here's what happens, guys. Yeah, tail whip is 2 words. I guess give it boom like that. Tail whip. Thank you, corkscrew blow, for your Pokemon knowledge. Okay, so let's run our program again. Hey, look at this. Now we got some stuff going on here. Cyndaquil's available moves are. This is just a print statement. So you can see that happening right here. Print. That's all this stuff here. Cyndaquil's available moves are tackle, flamethrower, tail whip, and growl. Then we have a prompt input. What moves? So I can actually type here. See, I can actually type there. It's kind of there should be a space there, right? It's kind of weird how it goes right from the question mark to the data I'm entering. So let's actually put a space right here. Boom. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let's go back here and run the program again. So I want to use tackle. Okay. Nothing, right? That's the end of our program. Nothing happens after that. But here's what we can do with input. Input's kind of cool. Unlike print, which simply puts the data on the screen, then its job is done, right? Print puts data on the screen, then it's over. Input actually returns data, right? So if you look at our tool set over here, we have arguments, which gets data into the function. Right here we have our argument that's going into our input function. But then also some functions have a return, right? It gets data out of the function. So input will actually return whatever text the user punched in. So if we say, let's just call it, inputted text equals, right? So basically now we can take the data that the user entered in here and we can get it back as a variable. What's up, machine? This is an online college course now, and how many credits do I receive? No credits, but it is pretty rewarding, I feel like. If you're not a programmer already, I think this is a good way to kind of get started. For me, it's been very enriching. I've been programming for more than 20 years. And well, that's fair to say, about 20 years. And I love it. I love it to death. Python's a great language as well for beginners and for experienced programmers. Definitely pick it up. Okay, so now we have this value we're saving. So now let's just print it, right? Let's just print, the user typed in, then we're going to add in our inputted text. I think, is inputted even a word? I don't know. My diction is terrible. Okay, so we got this data from the input function, right? The input, we said, what move should Cyndaquil use, and we saved what they typed in as inputted text. Then we're going to print that off again. The user typed in inputted text. See what happens here. So I'm going to say, Cyndaquil should use, my name is David, right? There you go. The user typed in, my name is David, see? So actually, we saved what the user typed in, And now we can use it in our program. It's kind of crazy, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, Rage, no credits. Maybe one day, once we're licensed. Cool. So now we have this text user punched in. We can start doing logic on it, right? So here's what I mean by that. We're going to compare the text to other text. Let's just say, for instance, if, okay, we have an if statement. We put in a condition, right? So we have to say, if blank is true, then do something, right? So let's say if inputted text is equal to, equals means is equal to, tackle. Okay, so if the inputted text is equal to tackle, we indent. Then we're going to say print, Pokemon name plus, tackled, then the Pokebot name. That's our opponent, the Pokebot. We're going to add an exclamation mark for emphasis there. Okay. So, then we're going to, print, end of program, just so we know we're at the end of the program. All right, so let's run this program and see what happens now. Okay. I'm sorry, I typed something wrong here. So it says here, our error is on line 37, end of program. I see I missed a quotation mark right there. Boom. What's up, Kenny? Says bork. We borked it, dude. We fucked it. Here we go. Now we got it. So what move should he use? Well, let's use tackle. Hey, Cynical tackled Rattata Pokebot. That's his name, right? Rattata Pokebot. Let's call him Pokebot Rattata. Cool. So here's what happened, guys. Whenever you have a if statement, it always ends with a colon. And after any code in Python ends in a colon, that means that the following code that is indented will only run under certain conditions, right? So here we have our condition. If the inputted text from the user is equal to tackle, colon, indented text, right? Do this. Only do this, the print Pokemon name plus tackled plus Pokebot name. Only do that if this line is true. In fact, we can demonstrate that right now. So if I go right here and run it again, let's say I want him to use, Flamethrower, right? End of program, right? This code did not run. It did not print the tackle message because this line was not true, right? Because this wasn't true, this didn't get run. But if this was true, this would get run. What about all the example code? Will it be available too in the form of a text file? Yes, it will, Corkscrew and Flag. If you go to our GitHub page, that's, I think, github.com/intro Vencabot. I'll put it in the chat here. Let me open it up for you guys. Twitch.tv/Vencabot/chat. Let's see here. Yeah, all of our example code on Intro to Python goes up on, I think it's github.com. Is it /Vencabot/intro to Python? Before I put that in the chat, let me make sure that's the case. Oops. My hand is being bad today. Got a bad hand like, let's see here. This is it. This is it. Okay. Why not put it in one of the panels under the video player? We could do that, Corkscrew, but we don't do this often enough. We only do this once a week here on Vencabot. Yeah, so once the stream is over, guys, this code will be available on our Intro to Python GitHub page for your perusal. Again, the video's going to go live probably tomorrow or the day after on YouTube. You guys can review it if it would please you. Okay, so we have this text, right? Let's do some more text, right? Let's say, else. So basically, let's actually print, 1, 2, 3, 4, print. We'll say Pokemon name plus didn't tackle, the Pokebot name. Okay, so here's how this works, guys. The way this works is, if you have an else statement, then this code, because it's indented, anytime you have a line ending in a colon followed by an indented line, that means that code, the indented code will only run under certain conditions, right? So in this case, what we're saying is, if this is true, if the inputted text is equal to tackle, then do this. But else means if this is not true, right? So if it's true, do this. Otherwise, else, do this, right? So if we punched in the word tackle, then Cyndaquil tackled the Pokebot. Else, Cyndaquil did not tackle the Pokebot, right? Let's actually demonstrate that. I'm gonna put some blank lines in here. If you use the print function and you don't have any argument inside, right there's empty parentheses, then it just prints a blank line. We're gonna do that down here too. Okay, so I got some blank lines there to make it not just a big bunch of text. Sounds inside the instructor. Whoa. I'm not sure if that's true. We can punch in tackle. And boom, Cyndaquil tackled Pokebot Rattata, right? Now we can punch in Flamethrower. And we have Cyndaquil didn't tackle Pokebot Rattata. See? It's logical, right? It's program logic. So we asked a question here. Is the inputted text equal to tackle? If it is, do this. Else, do this. Right, we're going to make it a little more complex now. So instead of having this message here about didn't tackle, we don't need that message, right? What we need is, else if. So now we're going to run another if statement in here. Inputted text is equal to Flamethrower. Right? So we have a colon here. We're going to indent the text even further. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to indent it even further, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks for the follow, Ironheart86. We program here on Fridays around this time. We're usually like a gameplay channel. We play a lot of games here most of the week. But on Fridays, we do a little bit of programming. If you have any questions, by all means, please feel free to ask. Okay. We're going to print some more text, right? We're going to print Pokemon name. That's Cyndaquil. Plus, we're going to add in some more data to the string. Blue flames at. And we're going to add our Pokebot name. And then an exclamation mark. All right. So here's what's happening now, guys. The user inputs text right here with its input function. And the argument of input is the prompt that the user gets. So the prompt is going to be, what move should Cyndaquil use? And we save whatever they punched in as inputted text, because input returns whatever they punched in. Then we compare that inputted text to the word tackle. Is it equal to tackle? If it is, do this. Right? Print off that Cyndaquil tackled the Pokebot. If it's not tackle, then we ask another question. Is the inputted text equal to Flamethrower? If it is, then do this. Right? So let's see how this program flows now. Ironheart says, hello, I'm a computer engineering student and heavily involved in the software development community. Are you really heavily involved? Wow. Well, good for you. That's awesome. My languages are C++, Java, and assembly. And here you are in Python. Yeah, C++ and Java are my first languages. I've never learned assembly, but yeah, I kind of gave up on both C++ and Java to focus mostly on Python, because to me, Python is God's language. But yeah, Java was my first serious programming language, aside from JavaScript. And then I learned C++ after that, and Python after that. But Python to me is just the best. It's the bee's knees, man. Katori says, hello, I'm having problems with my bot sending messages to chat. Okay, well, I'm not sure we're there. We're kind of like on a beginner's tutorial here, Katori. Sending messages to the chat. What's your error you're getting, Katori? Maybe we can help you anyway. So what is it, a Twitch bot? Does it run in Python? Okay, so let's run this code here. So let's punch in tackle. Right. 421 unknown command. That's beyond our scope here, Katori. Unknown command. Yeah, I think that we would need to know a lot more about your program to actually deal with a problem like that. A Python 421 unknown command. It sounds to me like the problem with the bot, not with Python. Maybe you're sending in, like I said, a wrong command. Maybe you have to retype your command. Maybe your command is not formatted correctly, huh? You have to look at the documentation for whatever bot you're using. Yeah, what's the bot, Katori? What bot are you using? Something you wrote yourself, or something that's provided, a template of some kind? Okay, so let's see here. So we ran tackle, and it did this, right? It said, was it tackle? In our case, it was tackle. We entered the word tackle. So it ran this code. Now let's run the code and not put in tackle. Let's put in Flamethrower. Okay, I don't need to put quotation marks there, actually. Flamethrower. Send a quill blue flames at Pokebot Rattata. Here's what happened, right? We put in Flamethrower right here into inputted text. It said, is the inputted text tackle? Well, no, it wasn't tackle, right? It was Flamethrower. So this code never got ran. But because it wasn't tackle, this code got ran, the else code. So all this code got ran after that. So it said, is it Flamethrower? And then if it is, we ended it even further. We print blue flames at, right? But if we were to enter in, let's say, you know, Tail Whip. Enter in Tail Whip. Nothing happens yet, right? Nothing happens at all because we don't have any code to deal with that situation yet. But we can add that though. Let's put another else statement. So we're gonna put this else attached to this if statement, right? We're gonna say else 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Another if statement. If inputted text is equal to tail whip. Then we're going to print more data. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. It's a lot of indenting, right? Print Pokemon name plus whipped its tail at plus Pokebot name plus we're getting pretty long lines here, right? That line's too long. Actually, turn off forward wrapping here. This line's getting pretty long, right? The line is going off the screen now, but it should work. We're gonna have to solve that problem. So Katori wrote this code, huh? This bot from scratch? Unknown command. I feel like he probably didn't write it from scratch. That's fine. What's up, Sting Infinity? This is gonna be Stingfinity, huh? What's up, homeboy? I'm not sure we've met. I'm David. A lot of the framework of different programming languages are the same except for the syntax. Maybe a few things here and there. I totally agree, Ironheart. That's why I think Python's a good place to start. It's very simple syntax, but things you learn can take you to any language you want. Will you be using elif? We definitely will, Katori. Yes, you're way ahead of us. I like the way you think, dude. Yeah, we're going to introduce elif in a statement in a second here. But let's try tail whip now. So we're going to run this code. We're going to use tail whip. Yeah, I don't usually code in Notepad, Stingfinity. Just coding today in Notepad, that's what everybody has. I don't want to use any special environment. This is a beginner's tutorial. All right, tail whip. So Cynical whipped its tail at Pokebot Rattata. Okay, so here's what happened now, guys, right? We punched in tail whip into inputted text. It tested it here. If it was tackle, that failed. It was not tackle. So then we run into this else statement, right? So now it says, is it Flamethrower? Well, it wasn't Flamethrower. So now this gets triggered. The else right here gets triggered, right? Is it Tail Whip? Yes, it is Tail Whip. So we print off the statement right here, right? So every time we end a line with a colon, that code will only run under certain circumstances, and you have to indent it further each time you kind of nest. You kind of nest them like the nesting dolls. You nest them deeper and deeper. But like Katori said, we can use elif, right? So thankfully in Python we have this elif statement here, which is a very shorthand way of saying else followed by if. Right here we have else followed by if. Right here we have else followed by if. We can shorten that in Python to just elif. That'll make our code much less indented, right? Which makes our lives a little bit easier. 1 2 3 4. Here we can have another elif. Right? Yeah, Katori knows what he's doing. Katori's that dude. There we go. So now here's what we're saying, guys. Now we're saying, you know, is the inputted text tackle? Right? If it's not tackle, is it Flamethrower? Right? Then do this. If it's not tackle or Flamethrower, is it tail whip? Then do this. That's what elif does, right? It's simply the same thing as else followed by if. Elif. It's the only shorthand of that nature in Python I can think of, but it's basically its purpose is to limit indentation, right? That way we can have all of our stuff on one line again. It makes it a lot easier to not have to indent 100,000 times with this elif statement for that. And for the raid to rock around. Don't worry about pointers, Kenny, not in Python. You're a Python man now. So Ironheart says nested loops, one of the first projects I did. Welcome aboard, Mavi Lebenstein. I missed something here. It's a nice thing to learn C or C++ though, because understanding of pointers will get you a long way in understanding many other concepts. I think you're right, Mavi. I think you're right. In Python, you know, coming from C++ to Python, I was kind of surprised at how data kind of, how you reference it. But I think you could also just learn, you know, Python's first language pretty easily. I usually use Vim, yeah. I love Vim. I don't know how you knew that, Kenny, but I wish I knew what I was doing. I'm sorry, Katori. It's like you're beyond our help right now, so we're kind of doing like a very beginner's tutorial today. elif, really? Dang, I got 3 IT companies and write 26 computer languages. I'm still a noob, by the way, but elif, that's just poor. That's just poor. You don't like elif? God, I love elif. It's much less indentation. Do you ever utilize Python scripts in OBS in any way? Not yet. That feature came out in OBS, what, like 2 months ago? Yeah, I use Python scripts with my stream a lot, but not directly in OBS. I think it's a new feature of theirs. Yeah, Kenny knows. Kenny's a careful listener. His memory's better than mine. Okay, so now we can add in, you know, our last skill, which is growl, right? So we're going to say elif inputted text is equal to growl. We're going to print off, you know, Pokemon name plus growled at Pokebot name plus exclamation mark. All right, so now we have all of our commands entered in. Else if is no, actually that's true, Stinkfinity, but in Python we don't use, you know, curly brackets and stuff. So having else and if on the same line would be a syntax error. So elif, yeah, it's just saying it's a one-word statement. Yeah, I'm sorry, Katori. I wish we could help you more. Yeah, hang in there, dude. Hang in there. But yeah, we could just also, I mean, I guess they could have redone Python to say, you know, else if, like that. But what you would need is like else. You know, I guess they figured it'd just be easier to make it into a one-word statement. All right. So let's see here. So we have this, you know, our last commands. We have 4 moves, right? Tackle, Flamethrower, Tail Whip, and Growl. And they're now all implemented, basically, using Notepad. Well, it's our first day 1.0. No, I don't want to ask people to download a special editor for their first day programming. So I figured we'd do it in Notepad today. Book on board, dude. Okay. So what moves we're going to use? We're just going to try. Let's try Growl. All right, so Growl works. Cynical, Growl, that Pokebot, Rattata. Nice. All right, but here's a problem, guys. If we run the code, let's say I want to use, I don't know, I want to use, what's a good move? Like Water Gun, right? I want to use Water Gun. All right. Well, nothing happens. The program ends, right? It just prints off end of program right here. I mean, we keep moving down the program. We hit this line right here. The program ends, but nothing happens. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to say else print, you know, Pokemon name plus doesn't know that move. Okay, so here's what's happening now. Now it's saying, if the text we entered is tackle, then do this. Otherwise, if it's Flamethrower, then do this. Otherwise, if it's Tail Whip, then do this. Right? Otherwise, if it's Growl, then do this. Otherwise, print off Cyndaquil doesn't know that move. Right? So if it's none of this stuff, then print off a message letting the user know they typed in something wrong. You goofball. Notepad would be very good if you could add a Vim input add-on. Dude, you know what I missed the most in Notepad? Like, I think that, you know, we're using it to accommodate beginners here on the channel, right? Because they have Notepad, right? But I think it's kind of hard for a beginner to use Notepad. Not because it has no syntax highlighting, but because it doesn't have line numbers. Can you imagine writing a program in Python and then getting an error message saying on line 112 there's an error, and you can't tell what line number you're on? That's kind of a drag. But again, when I started programming when I was a kid, I used Notepad, so you know, you can survive with it. So is this the new October Notepad in Windows? Respecting a new line without CR? I didn't know they changed that. I assume, I'm running the most up-to-date version of Windows 10, but I assumed it's using, you know, Windows new line standards. I didn't know that the new Notepad was supposed to play more like, you know, Vim and get it and stuff. That'd be nice, but to my knowledge, it's just Notepad, so. I said mine's up to date. I have an update OS, but I kind of figured it was using Notepad. I could be wrong. I thought it was using Windows standards. Press Control plus G and enter the number. That's how you get to lines in Notepad. Oh, really? Control G? Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. I didn't know I had that feature. Well, there you go. One's been new every day, right? Thank you. I'll remember that. That's the only way to do it? Wow. What else am I didn't? Oh, here it is. Go to. Okay. You can go to a line. Oh, that's fun. Well, what if I typed in like 10? Does it highlight it? No, but it puts the cursor there. Okay, thank you, dude. Wow. That's sick. Okay, so now we have all of our moves. They all do something, right? They don't really do much. They just print off some text. But at least we have some logic working here, right? We're testing what text they inputted, and then depending on what they punched in, we're doing something different each time. And if they don't know that move, they don't know that move. Right? Let's actually run it here. Let's try water gun again. Water gun. See, Simple does not know that move, right? So he has these moves at his disposal, and then if we type in something else, we get this statement at the bottom, and we print off, he doesn't know that move. They have Notepad too. It has the numbered lines and neat tools. There's also Notepad++. Yeah, but those are unofficial tools that you download separately, right? I just want to use what the OS has for now. Something Katori, wow! I did not know that. Thank you, Stingfinity. Okay, so we have this very, very basic program that we can punch in a command and we can see some text get spat out, right? It spits out text, all it does. But we're going to change that now, guys. We're going to change that. We're going to start actually having real, real RPG action happening here. Oh, thank you, Rakurai. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of how I performed. I would have liked to perform better at TFC, but, that's life. So our Pokemon, they have what? They have type, they have HP, they have attack and defense, and they have these move PPs, right? Well, for one thing, why don't we put all this code into a loop so that it keeps running forever? Right now, it just runs the, asks this question right here. It asks us once, right? What should it use? It runs this code here, then the program ends. But why don't we instead make this loop over and over and over again, like in a real Pokemon battle, right? In real Pokemon, you choose your move many times, right? So let's make use of our while statement here, right? We have this in our little toolbox from last time, right? While statements. It repeats the block if a condition is true. So let's just say, we're going to say, while, I don't mean to get that many blank lines, while, our Pokemon's HP, that's what our stat is, right? We have this up here, Pokemon HP right here. While our Pokemon's HP is greater than 0, run all this code. Now, as you guys know, if you end a line with a colon, the code following will only run in certain circumstances as long as it's indented. So we have to indent all of our code now. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now this code here is not indented. So this code, because it's not indented anymore, that means it's outside of the while loop. So basically we're saying, while our Pokemon's health is greater than 0, so while our Pokemon is alive, right? While he's got greater health than 0, we run this code. We ask them what move should they use, then we test what they punched in, and then once we hit, no more indenting, right? We jump back to the top. Is the health still greater than 0? If it is, run it again. All right, we're at the bottom of the loop, right? Is it still greater than 0? Run it again. Now you guys may have noticed, nowhere in this code is the Pokemon's health being reduced. So this code will run forever. It'll loop forever. What's an IRL example of using Python's enum? Enum? Enumerate something? I don't know, dude. I have to look up the documentation. We're not there yet. We're just using, well, let's look it up, right? We'll look up enum. Maybe we can answer that question for you. I think it's that's a built-in function, right? Let's see, enumerate, right here, right? Return an enumerate object. Okay, blah, blah, what did it do? Return a tuple account. Okay, so what do we got here? Enumerate. Oh, that's nice. Oh, so it takes a list and it numbers them. Kenny could use that. My friend Kenny could actually use this. So basically what it does is it returns a, whatever list you punched in, it gives them the index and the string. So a real example would be like, let's say, well, they have a nice example. Let's do this. Right? I hate to get sidetracked. Let's do it. Let's get sidetracked, guys. Let's, just for our friend here, let's save this, yeah. All right, we're going to save this as, enumerate example .py. Okay, so we're going to make a list. We don't have lists yet, guys, on our, in our Pokemon program, but we're going to make a list here anyway. Avert your eyes, newbies. We're going to say, months equals, Jan, Feb, Mar, April, May, June, July, August, September. Let's go down the line here. October, November, December, right? We've got January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Right? That's all of them, right? I'm missing a month. What am I missing in the chat here? Since this year, Windows Notepad finally accepts new lines in both their style and Unix style. Okay, interesting. It should stay basic, yeah. But recently I hear everyone below or around 20 doing Python. Why? Schools? Yeah, I think we're not going to address that really here. Python is really used in real life and in no runner-up in real life. It's very easy to use. It's a fun scripting language to use for hobbyist projects. I think it's schools. I use it a lot in data science as well. Python and Java are the most used coding languages in companies. I don't know. Python? Java, yes, of course. But Python, I'd be kind of surprised if it was. I mean, there's C# is super huge. For me, Python is a nice scripting language. Let's see. Impact Chat has an image here. There's an old fart that does programming all over. I mean, I'm nobody, but I would know. Your view of the world is skewed. Please check your facts. Oh my gosh, we got a fucking language war, guys. Keep it civil in the chat, please. Anyway, we're going to enumerate this. Now we're going to say, like, enum months is going to be, what was it? Enumerate months, right? So now we're going to have, like, this, a new list with tuples in it. And then we can ask the user, input, what month number you want, right? Let's save this. We're going to say this as month number. All right, and then we can say, well, it doesn't really help us. You get the idea. So basically, you get indexes with your list. That's pretty useful, in certain situations. But I think we're kind of getting off track here. But yeah, so you get these, you get tuples back, where you get the indexes, +1. It's kind of cool. Python is most definitely used in companies. So is Java. I think Python is used in companies, but it's, I think in IT, in actual, what's we're looking for, boilerplate development stuff, Python is not anywhere near as popular. Again, you're going to see a lot of C# and Java, but Python, I think it's more used for open source and hobbyist type stuff. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go back to our Pokemon. I don't want to get too sidetracked, guys. Let's see here. So after technology streams, are we going to get swole with Venka? Maybe one day, dude. Maybe one day. I used to be swole back in the day, believe it or not. Now I'm just a pasty little nerd. Okay, what do we got here? IT is broad, but if we talk global figures, Python is not very big. Maybe for prototyping. And I really feel like it's not a super professional language. It's really more for, as I said, open source and hobbyists. But for that, I think it's godlike. Okay, so let's see here. What were we doing again? Yeah, I got sidetracked. Oh yeah, we got this loop now, right? So this loop is going to go forever. Let's experiment with that. Let's run our program. So we're going to have him use tackle. Sick. What move should he use? Tackle again. Let's have him do Flamethrower. Okay, he blew flames. Let's have him use a water gun. Okay, he doesn't know that move. Let's have him use Tail Whip. Okay, he used a tail. So yeah, so basically what's happening now is it's looping over and over and over again thanks to this while statement. So while our Pokemon's health is greater than 0, run this code that's indented over and over again. Yeah, please, guys, let's keep the format wars out of the chat. If you guys want to talk format wars or language wars, go do it on some Reddit. This is, I feel like, a pointless conversation here. Yeah, we're learning Python here as total noobs, as a nice language to learn as a beginner, because it's got a very simple syntax, and you're going to see it a lot in open source projects. But yeah, I think it's a really fun language. It's very simple. It doesn't have to compile. You don't have to compile it or anything. It's great for noobs. It's my favorite language. But yeah, please, if you want to talk about enterprise, whatever, this is not the place for it. Format wars! Okay. So, yeah, we have this loop going now. So don't get me wrong, folks. I'm not on a warpath. Yeah, drop it, Stinkfinity. It's your last warning. Okay, so let's yeah, there are places to check IT, folks. Again, Reddit's good for that. Definitely recommend it. That we're here to learn Python as beginners. Okay, so we should do something with this code now, right? So basically, how about we say every time they input tackle, let's reduce the Pokebot's HP by some amount, right? Let's just say we print the message off. We're going to say if they entered tackle, Pokebot HP equals Pokebot's HP, so whatever it was, minus our Pokemon's attack power. Right? Yeah, good stuff, Stinkfinity. Have a good night, man. How would it affect the code if you were to pour your liquid on it? I think it wouldn't affect the code that much. Probably break my keyboard, though. Thankfully, it's not super expensive. All right. So it's HP. So basically what we're saying now is that if they entered tackle, not only are we getting a message here that we got before, but we're actually lowering the Pokebot's health points. Right? The Pokebot's HP is being changed to whatever it was minus our Pokemon's attack. So what do we have here? Our Pokemon's attack is what? 8? And the Pokebot's HP starts at 68. So every time it tackles... yeah, have a good night, Stinkfinity. So I can definitely respect the passion, but I think this is not the place. Okay. So now we need to print off how much health the enemy has, right? So let's do it right here, actually. Let's say print Pokebot name now has, you know, Pokebot HP plus HP. Okay, let's run this code, and I'm gonna explain it in a second. Actually gonna print a blank line for all this too. Out of curiosity, why do you use space instead of tab? Well, because it's a PEP 8 standard. In Python, it's recommended for all Python programmers to use 4 spaces for indenting instead of tabs. It's just a stylistic thing that's supposed to be uniform across Python programmers. You can use tab if you want, and tab will work in the Python interpreter, but stylistically speaking, it's recommended for programmers to use space in Python, according to PEP 8, which is the official Python style guide. What's up, Rantic? Welcome aboard, dude. Used by Google, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Dropbox. Yeah, a lot of guys use Python for sure. Tabs can be 4, 8, 12, 8 million on any computer. That's true. You're right. You're right. 4 spaces will always be 4 spaces, exactly. That's why they do it. But, you know, it's fine both ways. Some people like tabs, some like spaces. It's just that in Python they recommend so that when you share your code with people, you share it online, you share it on GitHub, you share it on a platform that has monospace, you know, font. That way it's always the same indent for everybody. Thank you for the bits, Rantic. I appreciate that. Soft tabs, yeah, soft tabs are good too if you're using Vim or Emacs or whatever your environment is. I use soft tabs a lot. But again, for beginners, Notepad, you gotta space it out. Space it out. Okay, so we have this blank line here at the end of this thing. So now we're gonna print off how much health this Pokebot has after tackle. Let's try that. So I'm gonna actually kill this program here using Control pause on Windows. Clear the screen. Excuse me. All right, so he's gonna use tackle now. It's supposed to reduce the enemy's health now, right? Let's see if it does. Okay, so look. Cynical tackled Pokebot Rattata. Pokebot Rattata now has 60 HP. Started from 60, let's tackle again. So now he has 52 HP. So here's what's happening, guys. Every time we tackle, we take whatever his health is right now, and we subtract our Pokemon's attack power, right? Which is 8. Then we print off our message, but we also print off his remaining health points. Now here you see we use the SRT function. That's because if we try and combine an integer like Pokebot HP, right? This is actually an integer, like like 55 or 68 or whatever. If we try and combine that with a string, we get an error in Python. I'll demonstrate here. Let's actually need to Control pause to exit that program. Start it again. Let's use tackle. and boom, we crash. See, we get a type error. Can only concatenate, that's fancy talk for add together or combine strings to strings. You cannot combine an integer with a string. Thankfully, we know about this function str, whose argument is any piece of data that you want to get a string version of. Thank you for the follow, Nuluyuki. If you have any questions, please let me know as it pertains to our code here, or your own code. But we kind of have a limited tool set. We're kind of our first day programming, so our tool set's very limited here. Are you going to add an or to your while statement? Yes, I think you're right, Katori. Yeah, Katori's so far ahead of us, man. This guy knows what he's doing. I like this dude. Yeah, right now our code, our while statement, this code will run as long as our Pokemon is still alive. It's kind of weird though, right? At some point, we're going to end the fight if the Pokebot faints, right? Like right now the code keeps running as long as our guy's alive. But if the Pokebot faints, then what, right? So we're going to have to fix that later on. It's a bug right now. But, yeah. In fact, since the Pokebot's not fighting back, let's just base on the Pokebot's HP, right? Because the Pokebot's not even hitting us. So while the Pokebot has greater than zero, greater than 0 health, we keep on looping. Once the Pokebot hits 0 health or lower, then the fight's over. He's fainted, right? So we have the string version being returned here of Pokebot's HP. So let's say that it's 55, right? You cannot add a string like now has to the number 55, but you can add it to 55, right? Which is like, imagine the number 55, but as text, not as a number, right? We talked about that earlier today, about how, you can subtract, let's actually do some Python here. You can say like, 55 minus 44, right, equals 11, right? Those are both numbers. But if you say 55 minus 44, you get a type error because 55 it's not really a number. It looks like a number, but it's actually text. You can't do math on it, right? So in this case, we have a number that you can do math on, but you cannot combine it with strings. We're getting back the string version of it. So let's say we've got HP of 55, right? So our HP is 55, right? Then we want the string version of that. We get 55, right? It's not really a number anymore. It's just something you can combine with, some text. So in this case, we're combining the health with this text to make it print out neatly. Let's actually close Python here. Okay. So now we're running this code as long as the Pokebot is still alive. Let's kill the Pokebot, or I guess we make him faint in Pokemon, right? We're going to make the Pokebot faint. It should actually make this loop end. Let's test that. So when the fight's over, the fight's over. So I'm going to have him tackle. Boom. He has 60 health left. Tackle him again. Boom. 52. Keep hitting it, dude. If it's working, why stop? 36 health. 28 health. 20 health. 12 health. Oh my god. Here he is. Got 4 health left. It's the last one. Boom. End of program. Right? He has negative 4 health because we took away 8 from 4. Then end of program. So what happened there was every time this loops, it tests this statement right here. Right, so it says, what do you want to do? Tackle him? It runs all this code here. And then it goes back to the top. Is the health greater than 0 of the Pokebot? If it is, do it again. Oh, I missed it. I didn't mean to do that. But if this is not true, if the Pokebot HP is not greater than 0, then the loop ends. We continue right down here. We jump to the bottom and jump right down to here. You're killing Pokemons? So much death. Yeah, well, it's a robot anyway, so it's not a big deal. But I think it's going to faint. Even though it's a robot. Whatever robots do when they faint. It's a one-sided fight, Rockrai. It's not really a Pokemon battle. Right now the Pokebot's not fighting back. Right? Only our Pokemon is fighting. But we can change that, right? So how about after we choose our move, right? This is all of our move right here. We input our text, and then all this code gets run depending on what command we entered. We're gonna give the enemy a turn. Let's go down here. Let's print, Pokebot name plus. How about it? What does it do? It's a Pokebot. So it shoots eye lasers. Is that how you spell lasers? At our Pokemon's name. All right, let me add in an exclamation mark because it's very serious. So we're actually going to do some more math here, right? So we're going to actually subtract our Pokemon's health now. So our Pokemon health is going to be equal to whatever it was before, Pokemon's health, minus the Pokebot's attack power. But our Pokemon has defense. We'll implement that next time. But yeah. See, our Pokemon has defense. We're not going to use it right now, though. He has our Pokemon has what? 2 defense. Laser, all caps. Okay, here we go. Shoots eye lasers. I'm gonna actually put eye in caps too, because serious business. Fucking eye lasers, dude. I guess Niantic would like that, huh? Please write Pokemon Go too. They probably wouldn't like that. They'd like it if I gave it to them. I'm gonna call it, you know, Bobemon 2. Bobemon Go, and make $1 billion. Alright. So now we're losing health too every turn. Actually, let's print our remaining health as well. So we took some damage here, right? Our Pokemon's health was reduced by the Pokebot's attack power. And we printed off this message, so the user knows what happened. Now we're gonna print off how much health we have left. So let's go ahead and do here. We're gonna print off, Pokemon name. That's our Pokemon Cyndaquil. Plus, now has the string version of our Pokemon's HP. Because we can't add an integer to a string. We're going to make it into a string temporarily and use that. HP. There we go. So now every turn we choose a command, right? The turn starts. The turn starts with us choosing a command that's being saved into this variable, inputted text. Then we test this variable against our known commands. If it's equal to tackle, then run this code, right? If it's equal to Flamethrower, then run this code, and so on and so forth. If it's nothing we know, right? If it's none of the above, then we don't know that move. In any case, after that, the Pokebot gets a turn, right? The Pokebot reduces our health. We print some messages for the user's sake. That Vencabot, exactly. Gotta catch 'em all. Is it Pokemon Health or Pokemon HP? It's a Pokemon HP. Did I fuck it up? Is there a Pokemon Health somewhere? Oh, here it is. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Yo, Kenny's so smart. Kenny caught that bug for you. As long as I can run the code, we're gonna have a bug here. So our bug is that we forgot what our variable was called, right? It's Pokemon HP, not Pokemon Health. So we're gonna get a bug here. Let's demonstrate that. I'm gonna use tackle. Okay, name error. Pokemon Health is not defined. So on this line right here, it's like Pokemon Health minus Pokebot attack. They're like, what's the hell's Pokemon Health? All right, so that's why it doesn't work. Have a good night, Rockerai. I guarantee you I'll catch them all, dude. I guarantee you. We only got about an hour left here, but we can do it, man. Let's fix this. Thank you, Kenny. Okay. So now the code should work, hopefully. So I'm going to use tackle. Okay, so now he has 60 health, and I have 49 health. Let's try it again. Tackle. Okay, now he has 52, I have 43, so it's working. So my health being reduced, so is his. Alright, so I'm going to tackle him again. Okay, now he has 44, I have 37. Tackle again. Okay, now he's got 36, I've got 31. I'm catching up because I have more attack power. Okay. I'm getting closer. He's got 28, and I've got 25. Okay, now he's got 20, I've got 19. Okay, he's lower than me now. I can get the win. Yo, I had 1 HP at the end. That was cool. He got a post-death attack, though. So here's what happened, guys. Look at this last line. The last big thing that happened here. What move should Cyndaquil use? I wanted to use tackle. Right? Cyndaquil tackled Pokebot Rattata. Pokebot Rattata now has -4 HP. He got reduced below 0. Right? But Pokebot Rattata shoots eye lasers at Cyndaquil. Now I have 1 HP. He got a turn. After he got knocked out. Right? Why did that happen? Well, it's because this while loop only checks this condition after it's over. So after I get a turn, the Pokebot always gets a turn. Right? He always does, even if he's already knocked out. So we can fix that, though. Let's just say, right down here, if Pokebot HP is greater than 0, then he gets a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, now he gets a turn. Otherwise, he won't. That fixes that bug. At the same time, it could just be that he's a robot and he got disabled, but in his maybe his head was rolling around, and he still got to shoot his eye lasers at me. But now he's fainted. No more post-death attack. So maybe this kind of reminds me of Baldur's Gate, huh? Just add some more dices and rules. We're getting there. We're getting some more rules, that's for sure. Speaking of rules, guys, why don't we implement defense now? Our Pokemons have defense, right? So Cyndaquil's got what? 2 defense right here. and a Pokebot has 4 defense right here. Couldn't you also do an if statement where if Poke HP is greater than or equal to 0, continue? Continue? Greater than, less than or equal to 0. Continue. We could, yeah. Yeah, we definitely could. So continue is a statement we haven't touched on yet today. But what it does is that it makes the while loop jump back to the top. So we could say, you know, instead of doing this, we could just say right here, let's actually implement Kenny's strategy. It'd be kind of a weird way to do it, but we can definitely do it that way. So we can say if Pokemon HP is less than or equal to 0, so if he's out of health, continue. Right? So what this means is if he has, you know, negative health or 0 health, then it means jump back to the top. So jump right back up here and ask the question again. Does he have greater than 0 HP? Right? If it is, do all this. If not, jump to the bottom. So basically, if he has, you know, less than or equal to 0 health, skip this stuff down here, so he doesn't get a turn. But it's kind of hard to read, right? As a programmer, you're reading this, you're like, what does that mean? I think it makes more sense to say, if his health is greater than 0, he gets a turn, right? But yeah, you're right, Kenny. That's another option we could have used. The continue statement, guys, will just make the program, wherever it is when it hits that statement, it'll jump to the top of the loop. We could also use a break statement. We could also just use break if you want to be really weird. You could also just say, you know, if Pokemon's HP, like, you know, if Pokebot HP is less than or equal to 0, then break. That would work too. Then this wouldn't have to be indented anymore. We would just have this be down here. So continue means jump back to the top, and break means always exit the loop. Just jump out of the loop, man. We're done. So if we're saying right here, if his health is, you know, less than or equal to 0, we're done. No more fighting. He's dead. Right? Break out of the loop. No more of this nonsense. In our case, we're just going to use a simple, you know, is the Pokemon alive? If he is, give him a turn. Yeah, I think you're right, Matt. But yeah, break makes more sense to continue. That's for sure. But we're actually going to change the way this works in a minute to be more clear in any case. Okay. So now we have our Pokemon fighting. Let's implement some defense, right? So the HP is going to be equal to the Pokemon attack power, whatever it was, minus the Pokemon attack power. You know, minus our Pokemon's defense, right? So if he does 8 attack power, 8 damage, and we have 2 defense, that means he is only doing 6 damage now. Same thing up here, right? So we're gonna say, you know, the Pokebot's HP is whatever our Pokemon's attack power is minus the Pokebot's defense, which absorbs some of the damage. Okay, so now we have a defense stats implemented. Cool beans. Okay. So yeah, so the defense is now absorbing some of the attack power, which is cool. Now we can have like some tanky ass Pokemon. I could put my defense up to like, you know, right here. We can give him like fucking like 20 defense. He'd be unstoppable. In fact, he might even get health back, right? That might be a bug. That would definitely be a bug. Let's address that right now, in fact. So here's our problem, right? I just realized the way this code works right now, let's go with the eye lasers, right? The eye lasers say, you know, our Pokemon's health points is reduced, let's make this simpler here, by the Pokebot's attack power. So how much attack power does the Pokebot have? He's got 6 right here. 6 attack power, right? And my Pokemon starts off with 55 health. So in the first hit, he lowers my health from 55 down to 49, right? But we have defense though, so we have to figure out how to factor in our defense. Well, I just realized, you know, my thought was, why don't we just make our defense absorb some of the attack power? Right, so we're gonna say, you know, right there. So in our case, we would say, you know, the Pokebot's got what, 6 attack power, right? Our Pokemon has 2 defense, so it would be our HP of 55. We would lose, you know, 6 minus 2, so we would lose 4 health, right? So our defense absorbed 2 damage. But if this were let's say this were 20, right? If this were 20, we would actually get a negative number. It would be like, you know, it would be 6 minus 20. That would be negative 14. So it would be our Pokemon's HP minus negative 14. We actually gain health. Man, such high defense. That's a bug. Mavi says, Defense in this way is like a shield that is regenerated each turn. Kind of powerful, very powerful, maybe. Yeah, exactly. We're not taking it too seriously here. If we were working on balance, it would be a much longer project. I'm trying to get this more or less wrapped up today. We have about an hour left to wrap up this code. But yeah, in this case, balancing your defense in an RPG this way makes it very, very strong. Usually you do some kind of division or something like that, not just a simple absorption or minus. But in our case, it's going to be effective for a very simple RPG. What's up, here goes? So, we need to figure out, you know, let's do like a simple function here. We're going to say, let's say, if Pokebot attack is greater than or equal to Pokemon defense, then actual damage is going to be Pokebot attack minus Pokemon defense. Right? So if our defense is less than their attack, we just subtract them. So that means if he has, you know, say it's 6 attack power, we have 2 defense, the damage is 4. But, well, here's what we can do. Here's what we can do. We'll make it easier, actually. Let's just say actual damage is that, right? So our actual damage here in this case would be, you know, 6 minus 2, that's 4 damage. But we're going to do a failsafe. If actual damage is less than 0, it's a negative number, then actual damage equals 0. That way you don't get negative numbers, no one gets healed, right? No one's getting healed by their defense. Thank you for the bits, machine. I fell asleep last night. This is repayment. Thank you, dude. You don't have to repay me. It's just a pleasure having you here. Here goes. Says I took a good ass nap post work, and now I'm eating ramen. Man, you're fucking living the life of Riley, dude. Living the life of Riley. That sounds awesome. I tried them ramen. Okay, so here's what's happening now, guys. So basically, we're implementing defense now. The damage that actually gets, you know, done to us is the Pokebot's attack power minus our defense. So our defense is absorbing some damage. But in the case that it would go into the negatives and heal us, we're making sure it's just 0. Thank you. Make sure to use actual damage. Thank you. Yeah, right here. Thank you, Kenny, for the reminder. Yee! Now we can actually copy this code up here. We're also doing damage. Right, so we're going to reverse this. Is it worth it? Let me work it. Put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. We're going to say, you know, our Pokemon attack minus Pokebot defense if actual damage is less than 0, make sure that's 0. There we go. And then right here, use actual damage. So you guys are starting to see something here, right? You're starting to see that this code is getting really fucking complicated. It's getting pretty noodly, lots of indenting going on. We're going to have to start using functions soon to make this simpler, right? I'll demonstrate that in a second here. But yeah, so we have this code here for actual damage. Spin out the damage we got here. Here goes says, I just watched an ad for these. Thank you, dude. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits. No, that's 4 bits. Oh, no, it is 5. Appreciate that, man. Would you need to reset the actual damage value to 0 for the bot's attack? Yes. In this case, no, because right now, none of our defense numbers are higher than anybody's attack numbers, Carbanoid. So that would never actually happen yet. But the idea is that we'd be able to change these to wherever we want. We can make this, you know, like 200 defense if we wanted to, right? The idea is that we don't want it to be healing anybody. But with our code as it is right now, with only 2 defense and 4 defense and whatever, that would never occur. We would never actually get negative, you know, a negative actual damage. But it's more like an investment in the future. Good old spaghetti code is the best. Never be greedy with your go-tos. Dude, I fucking love go-tos, man. I love the go-tos. So, yeah. Speaking of go-tos and functions, we have the same code twice in a row. Right? Actual damage, you know, do this calculation. We can actually shorten that to a function. Let's not do that quite yet, though. You wouldn't need to, since it's not used for the bot before it's reassigned. I must misunderstand something. You wouldn't need to, since it's not used for the bot before it's reassigned. I see what you mean. I'm sorry, I misunderstood Carbanoid. What he's saying is that, what Carbanoid is saying, Kenny kind of caught onto it, is that we're using the same variable name twice. All right? Actual damage. But yeah, we don't have to reset it because it's being reset right here. Right? And likewise, it's being reset right here. So we can reuse the same variable name, no problem. But yeah, I think that's actually kind of interesting to point that out. If we were to say something like, actual damage is equal to, actual damage, well, let's say we reuse that, that variable name within the variable itself, within the definition of it, that would cause problems if we, because we're sharing that same name. But because we're redefining it entirely from scratch, it's fine. Yeah, because this is the same exact variable name as this, but we're redefining it both times, so we can reuse the same name, no problem. No problem. Okay, again, this code is getting pretty deep indented, but we're going to keep rolling with it for now. Cool beans, man. So now we got some attacks, we got actual turns being taken here. Let's make sure that the actual fight ends when one of us dies. So we're going to say Pokebot HP, we're going to end this loop as soon as this is no longer true, right? So if Pokebot's HP is less than or equal to 0, it ends. How about we say or Pokemon HP? Oh no, I'm wording that wrong. We're going to say and. Right? So what we're saying is that as long as the Pokebot is still alive, and as long as our Pokemon is still alive, keep on looping. Right? Keep on doing this loop. But if one of these becomes untrue, let's say that, Pokebot HP is 12, but Pokemon HP is -1. Well, now we can't say they're both true. Right? Only one is true. So that means this fails. Like a Pokemon clone, yeah. Let's see here. Now, when the user inputs an unknown command, the Pokebot will steal damage. Yes, you're right. You're right. We can fix that, though. Let's do that. So what Mavai is pointing out here is that... Let's just demonstrate it, right? Let's demonstrate it. Run the code. Okay, I'm going to use tackle. Right? Okay, so I did some damage, and he did some damage, right? Let's use, Flamethrower. Okay, I get a message, he does damage. But if I enter in, let's say, Water Gun, which I don't have, it says, he doesn't know that move. But then, boom, I get fucking blasted with eye lasers. That's not fair. I fucking did a typo, right? Let's say I typed in, tackle, right, with the K first. Fuck, I don't know that move. I got blasted again. Right? So what Mavai is saying is that when we say he doesn't know that move, let's use the continue statement. That's what Mavai wants us to do. Because he's fucking smart. Right? So what we're saying here is that he doesn't know that name, but don't go down here to the Pokebot's turn. Don't do that. Jump back to the top and ask us again, what move should we use? Right? Continue means jump back to the top. Now we're back here again. Let's demonstrate that. Okay, so let's exit this program. Restart it. I want to use tackle with a typo. Right? T-A-K-C-L-E. Doesn't know that move. All right, now I can use water gun. Doesn't know that move. Now I can use, flamethrower. There we go. All right, now I can blow flames out. And that way we're not stealing, getting our turn stolen when we get a typo in there. Better learn your commands. Yeah, you missed your turn. Yeah. No, in this case, we're going to be more forgiving. If they did a typo, we give them their turn back. Katori, if you are poor, Vencabot master, mistakes will be made. That's true. Thank you, Matt, for pointing that out. We solved a little problem there with our code, a little bug. That way, no one's turn gets missed if they type in the wrong command name. Okay, so let's implement some of these other... well, let's actually... in Pokemon, you can see how much damage you do, but let's actually... could put some more data on the screen. Let's say... print... Pokebot name plus took plus the string version of actual damage plus damage. Right, so now we're going to see how much damage we do. That's going to be useful for the future. Let's try that. Okay, so let's tackle him. Okay, see now it says Pokebot Radish took 4 damage. Right, so now we know how much damage we're doing. We know how to do the math in our head. I'm going to do it again. So he has 64 health left. Let's try it again. Okay, so he took 4 damage. Now he has 60 health left. See, so that's a pretty good idea. Now we can see how much damage. Let's put that for the eye lasers too. Let's make sure we know how much damage is being done by the eye lasers. Print, our Pokemon name plus took plus actual damage plus damage. There we go. So now we can see how much damage we're taking. That's how you fill your forums with shitstorms of your users as a developer, Katori. Okay, so let's see here. So now we can see how much damage is being done. I think I want more blank lines as well. It's getting kind of hard to read, right? As we run this code. A lot of it's really tight together. I'm going to use tackle. Oh, I misspelled something. What did I do? Oh, I get... yeah, see, I got... here's my problem, right? Right here. I tried to add an integer, actual damage, to a string. We just talked about that, right? I'm a doofus. Let's get a string version of this integer. There we go. We use the string function. Now we have a string version of that number. Now we can add it in without a bug. Thanks for the follow, David A. Burns. That's a really sick Twitch handle. I like it. Very vanilla. It's not like Clit Commander 87. Just David A. Burns. I hope it's your real name, too. Okay, let's see here. Syndical wants to use tackle. Boom. There we go. So, Redditor took 4 damage. He has 64 health left. I took 4 damage. I have 51 health left. All right, especially put a blank line at the end right here. Before the next turn. There we go. So it is my real name. Good stuff, dude. I like that. I like it a lot. Very professional. I'm a David as well. I'm sure Mr. Burns here is no stranger to meeting Davids out there. In my experience, there's quite a few of them. I'm not saying anything wrong with Commander, dude. I'm saying that, it's not as professional as David A. Burns. Clit Commander 87. It fits better, Xbox Live, maybe. Thanks for the follow, Carbonoid 12, a.k.a. Clit Commander 87. Dicks, I don't want no problems with no Clit Commander 87, all right? I take it back. Maybe you're right. Maybe that came off wrong. I got no problems with no Clit Commanders. I think David A. Burns is an awesome handle. Never met another boy named Mackenzie. I think I knew another guy named Mackenzie once. But yeah, it's more often a woman's name, right? One of those unisex kind of names. Like, what's the other good unisex name? Okay, so. Cool, we can see how much damage being done. That means, here's why I did that, guys. I'm going to start implementing things like Tail Whip, which will lower defense and lower attack power. Right. Welcome aboard, Gunnar Wren. David says, there are not enough Daves in the world. No, there's plenty of Daves in the world. There are dozens of us, as here goes. Dozens of male Mackenzies out there. Okay, so now we're going to, fuck Flamethrower for now, it's too basic. Let's use Tail Whip, right? So Tail Whip lowers defense, right? So it's not going to lower attack power. Let's say Pokebot, yeah, we're attacking the Pokebot. Pokebot defense equals Pokebot defense -1, right? So now when we use Tail Whip, we lower the enemy's defense. Kind of cool. And then we're gonna, make sure it's not below 0. So if Pokebot defense is less than 0, we're gonna say Pokebot defense, is equal to 0. There you go. So now his defense got lowered. If it was already at 0, we don't lower it any further. If it's -1, it goes back up to 0. We don't want to have negative defense. And then for growl too, right? Let's implement that. We're going to say Pokebot attack power equals Pokebot attack power -1. And if the Pokebot's attack power is below 0 at this point, raise it back up to 0. Permanently lowering the defense of your enemy. I like the power you get in this game. Well, that's the actual thing in Pokemon. Believe it or not. It's pretty overpowered in that game, too. Especially accuracy. All right, I recently played Pokemon Yellow on stream. Again, we're like a gameplay stream. We do programming on Fridays. Every Friday we do some programming here. But we're actually a 40-hour week gameplay stream most of the time. We play a lot of games. We played Pokemon Yellow recently. And yeah, that game was pretty old. And some of the balance was a little bit off for some of these status change moves especially. From life experience, Mackenzie is the boy version of Mackenzie, is the girl version. I didn't know that. Mackenzie, huh? It'll come back the next time the program is ran, that's true. Just curious why you're using Notepad instead of, say, VS Code or PyCharm, because it's our first day program manufactured. This is a beginner's stream for brand new programmers who've never programmed once in their lives. It's our first day doing Python, hypothetically speaking. We don't have any kind of IDEs or anything, and all we have is Notepad. Right? I can't count on you guys having anything aside from Notepad, so that's what we're using today. When I was a newbie programmer 20 years ago, I used a lot of Notepad because I didn't know what else to use. Thing for the follow is this Clit Basher Big Penis. Nice, dude. He's got that the Xbox Live handle. That counteract our friend David A. Burns, trying to balance it out. Balance is so important. In the follower list. But yeah, no IDEs here, just a Notepad, because we're newbies. All we have is Notepad. Okay, so now we have attack power and defense being lowered. Let's try it. Right? So let's run this program here. I want to use growl. Fuck this dude. Fuck this dude. Okay. So look, I took 3 damage instead of 4 that time. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna growl again. Okay. Oh, I took 2 damage. Okay, so look at that. I'm gonna give him a 0 damage. Growl again, and growl again. You're fucked, bro. Now if I growl, nothing happens, right? It's already at 0 damage. Oh my god, he's so boned, dude. This guy's fucked. I'm gonna tackle his ass. Okay, so tackle him. Okay, so I did 4 damage, but he has defense. How many? He has, like, what, 4 defense to start off with? Yeah, let's lower his defense. Do you do even more damage? Let's use Tail Whip. Okay. Now let's tackle him again. So now I did 5 damage right here, see? Okay, I'm going to Tail Whip him again. Okay, and I'm going to tackle him again. Now I did 6 damage. Sick. Balance is so important, except in this Pokemon program, that too, yeah. Balance in your Twitch follows is important, but in Pokemon, who fucking cares? It's Pokemon. It's a little kid's game. Is there a decent free Python code program? A decent free Python code program? You mean like for writing Python code? Yeah, you could use Notepad++, good for beginners. Vim, maybe not so good for beginners, but it's free and really, really nice for programming. I'd never advocate for an MS product, but VS Code is free and on point, huh? I've never heard of VS Code. I guess I'm a newbie, huh? Okay, so let's finish the job here. I'm gonna tackle his ass. He can't do damage to him anymore. He's too weak. You scrub. Tail whip him again. Nice. You're done. End of the program, right? He's dead. I like Atom. Is that on Windows? Atom. A lot of different IDEs, huh? I use an app on my phone for Python. Pythonese, that's what I use 1.0 no, on my iPad sometimes. I used that when me and my friend Kenny, K-Reg Jr., were in North Carolina just a couple weeks ago. I used Pythonese to test some of my friend's code. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think that a lot of newbies don't really need bells and whistles, right? They won't know how to use them. I think Python, Notepad++ is kind of nice. It's got syntax highlighting and line numbering. I think it does have autocomplete. I think it does have autocomplete, right? Maybe, maybe not. Basic type stuff. Well, cool, guys. Look, our program more or less works. Let's actually implement Flamethrower. So let's go to Flamethrower here. I'm going to put some blank lines in here. It's a little bit crowded, isn't it? Here, let's do this. Now we can see all of our moves separated, right? You can see where they start and end a little bit easier. Coolio, man. Coolio! Coming along pretty well, this program. Put a blank line here. There. Maybe I went over the blank lines. It's all right. So let's implement Flamethrower now. So Flamethrower is going to just do, same damage as Tackle for now. We'll copy paste this code right here, in fact. So we're copying the actual damage code, make sure it doesn't go, below 0. And then we're also going to, change the HP around. Print the message. We're also print off these messages. We're going to copy paste this code right here. Where we report to the Pokebot's HP how much damage we did. There you go. So basically right now they're the same exact thing. Tackle and Flamethrower are the same exact fucking thing right now. That's fine for our purposes. Carbon says, I might be getting ahead of us, but is there a way to condense all the blocks of code that are similar? Is that a call function? Exactly, yes. You can make a function to handle things like tackle. Excuse me. Sorry, I talked pretty fast, guys. Right now, Tackle and Flamethrower are exactly the same code, right, Carbanoid? We could make it into a function, make it a lot simpler. That way we're not calling the same code over and over again. And before we end the stream, we're going to implement that, I think. But for now, let's make Flamethrower different from Tackle by implementing types. If we go up above, we can see that Cyndaquil's type right now is fire, and Pokebot Radish's type is normal. Oh, no, don't apologize, Carbanoid. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you guys here. Thank you for your questions. Yeah, we're going to implement that in a second here. So let's say, you know, Flamethrower. If here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to move the calculations below the message here. I'm going to show you guys why. So now we have the message, you know, prints off, you know, blue flames, and then we do the calculations and we do some reporting. I'm going to change this here as well. Put the message before we do the calculations. Okay. We can do that here as well. For all of our skills now, they're going to always start with a message about what actually happened just now, and then we're going to do some calculations about what actually happened. Okay. Cool beans. Sech. I got a lot of blank lines now, so whatever. It's kind of ugly, but we'll deal with it for now. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Now, for Flamethrower, before we calculate the damage, we're going to say if Pokebot type is equal to, what do they call it? Is it leaf, or is it wood, or plant? I think they're called leaf types, right? Or am I wrong about that? Grass types, right? Grass types. If his type is grass, then we're going to say, you know, actual damage equals Pokemon attack times 2 minus Pokebot defense. I think in the actual Pokemon that ignores defense, but whatever. Okay. Then we're going to say, you know, if it's not grass, then we're going to do this stuff, right? Actual damage is just regular. We're going to print a message too. We're going to print. It's super effective. Right? So there you go. So now we're saying he blew flames at so-and-so. If his type is grass, then it's super effective, and we do twice as much damage, or, you know, close to twice as much damage. We should also subtract the defense here. If it's not grass, then just as regular damage, right? And then in any case, if the damage is, if the damage is less than 0, we bring it to 0. Okay, here we go. Machine says, I'm having troubles with my stream. Oh, my Chromebook is... I'm sorry. Wait, I lost the stream here? If you guys are having problems, let me know. Okay, guys, so now we've got Flamethrower. And if they're a grass type, it does twice as much damage, approximately. Let's run this code and see what happens. So I want to use Flamethrower. Thank you, Kenny. Okay, so we did 4 damage. I blew flames. It's a normal type. I did my attack power and damage, right? So that's fine. So I can just, you know, use Flamethrower again, and eventually one of us is going to die. I think I'm going to die first, right? He's got 60 health. I've got 47. So use your imagination. I'm going to kill this program right now. But let's make him do a grass type. Okay, so we're going to say, let's say that he's, a fucking Bulbasaur. Right? And now he's a grass type. So now what happens? There's so much death, Katori, so much death. I know, it's real dark. It's a pretty dark Pokemon game. Okay, so now let's try Flamethrower. Oh, look at that, see? Cyndaquil blew flames at Pokebot Bulbasaur. It's super effective. Bulbasaur took 12 damage. That's an awful lot. Shouldn't he have taken 8 damage? Something's wrong, guys. Gotta figure it out. My math skills are terrible. Dark Pokemon souls. So, we do what our attack power is... Oh no, Cyndaquil's attack power is 8. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Yeah, he has 8 attack power, and Bulbasaur has 4 defense. So when I use Flamethrower on a normal type, it will do 4 damage, which is 8 minus 4. If I double my attack power, it is 16, and that minus 4 is 12. Yeah, so there's a lot of damage. Holy shit. I like it. Yeah, thank you, Carbon. I'm a doofus. Yeah, my mat skills are terrible. My mat skills are terrible. So cool. So now we have types being kind of implemented here a little bit. That's kind of nice. And of course, our Pokebot, he only has one kind of attack, which is eye lasers. Thanks for the follow, Manufactured, aka Manufacturer 3D. Kind of a cool name. What's the origin behind that? Manufactured with a 3. Okay, so I'm sorry, this is kind of a loud song here. It's my friend Albdat. Most of his music is not quite as resonant, but I enjoy it for programming. It's usually kind of ambient and droning and makes it a bit easier to concentrate, I feel like. Okay, so now we get to implement PP, right? We have this PP counts. Right? Our move 1 has 10 PP, move 2 has 5 PP, move 3 has 12 PP, move 4 has 8. So here's what we can do. We can, every time we try and use a move, we can see if we have more than 0 PP. If we don't, we have to, cancel that move, right? We can't use it. Let's try that, shall we? So we have tackle right here, right? Why don't we just say, we'll say, if move 1, Pokemon, it's called Pokemon, right? Pokemon move 1 PP is greater than 0. Let's just say if it's 0, then we're going to say print, tackle has no remaining PP. Right? And then we're going to go back to the top, make them ask him for what move they want to use again. Let's continue. Right? So if they has no PP, then give them an error message and shoot them back to the top again. Ask them what move they want to use. Right? We can do that for all of our moves. Also, we should probably tell the user how much PP they have remaining. All right? So he now has that much HP. Then we're going to say print, tackle has a string version. I need to put a quotation mark here. String version of Pokemon move 1 PP remaining. There you go. So now we're going to use this code. Let's use this code for every attack. I'm just going to copy paste all this shit for all the attacks. Copy that for Flamethrower. I'm going to say Flamethrower. Move 2 PP. Copy it again down here for Tail Whip. Okay. And kind of like our friend Carbanoid pointed out earlier, we're repeating a lot of code, right? We can actually simplify this using functions. We're going to do that in a minute. We're going to say Tail Whip has no remaining PP. That should be 2 words. Copy paste it right here as well for Growl. Move 4 PP 0. We're going to say Growl has no PP, and we're going to continue. Did you mean not enough PP for tackle? Yes. Did I spell something here? Okay. So we're going to also get this message here at the bottom about how much PP is left. Okay, so we're going to print this right here too. We're going to say Flamethrower has move 2 PP remaining. I'm going to copy paste this code down here for Tail Whip as well. We're going to say Tail Whip has move 3 PP remaining. And finally, we're going to say Growl has move 4 PP remaining. So now every time we attack, we use PP, kind of like in Pokemon, right? Let's see if that works. Oh no, it doesn't work yet. We have to subtract the PP. Oh my gosh. Not a PP versus 4 tackle. Your wording seems off. Although I feel if you use the move, it's kind of implied. Let me see if maybe I'm wrong. Tackle has no remaining PP. And Katori says it should be, did you mean not enough PP for tackle? My wording seems off. Not enough PP versus 4 tackle. Since you used a move, it's kind of implied. I think you fixed it. Did I? I'm not sure I understand your guys' argument. I'm sure you guys are right. I'm not, I'm kind of hurrying along here. But yeah, so right now, we check for PP, right? But we don't ever actually subtract PP. So let's do that. So here's our calculations, right? Let's say, Pokemon move 1 PP equals Pokemon move 1 PP minus 1. Right, we're going to copy paste this code here. Do that right down here as well. Boom. That's going to be move 2. We're going to subtract some PP down here from tail whip whenever it gets used before the final message. There you go. And then right here for growl as well. Move 3. Oh, I fucked it up, didn't I? Yeah, we need to make this move 4. Move 3 right here. That's going to be move 4 right here. There you go. So now every time you use a move, it gets a PP subtracted. Lots of repeating code here. This should all be sorted out more elegantly with functions or classes later on. So I've never seen you use plus equals or minus equals. Yes, exactly, Kenny, because it's kind of not necessary for beginners. Exactly, it's a newbie stream, yeah. What Kenny's saying is that if you're using Pokemon move 4 PP equals, the same exact thing, Pokemon move 4 PP minus 1, you can actually do a shortcut in Python and many other languages as well, which is minus equals. What minus equals means, it says whatever this variable was, increment it downward by 1. Right? So whatever it was, take 1 away. But in our case, we're being more explicit. We're just going to say the whole thing. Pokemon move 4 PP minus 1. So Katori says, Tackle does not have enough PP. It sounds like each action has its own PP pool. It does. Yeah, I'm sorry, Katori. This is Pokemon. Maybe you're not a Pokemon player. In Pokemon, every move has its own PP pool. So in Pokemon, you have like 10 tackles. And you have, 20 flamethrowers. And you have, 15 growls. And you can use that move that many times. Yeah, every action has its own PP pool. I'm sorry, Katori. That's the source of the confusion there. That's the source of the confusion. Every move in this game has its own PP pool. You have to exhaust every move individually. Ah. That's why up here we have, move 1 PP, move 2 PP, move 3, and so on. Every move has its own pool. 9 minutes, Kenny. We're pretty much done, dude. We might be able to touch on functions here real quick, if I'm super smart. All right, let's kill this. So now we have implemented PP, right? Kind of quick, but it's a pretty cool feature. Let's use tackle. Okay, so Cyndaquil tackled Pokebot Bulbasaur. Pokebot Bulbasaur took 4 damage. He has 64 health remaining, and Tackle has 9 PP remaining. And the eye lasers have no PP, they go on forever. Let's try tackling again. Okay, I'm not going to survive if I keep tackling. I have 8 PP. What's going to happen first? Might I die first? Probably, before I run out of PP. Let's try. Tackle. Tackle. I got 6 left. Tackle. Tackle. I got 4 left. I should actually survive. Tackle. Tackle. It's my last time. Tackle has 0 PP remaining. Now what happens if I try and tackle? Okay, look, yeah, see, so it has no remaining PP. What move should Cyndaquil use? Nice. So I try tackle again, right? It's going to do the same thing. It won't let me use it. It's empty. It's got no more ammo. But I can use Flamethrower, though. There we go. But now I'm going to die. Let's try Flamethrower. Oh, I forgot. He took critical damage, right? Super effective. I might still have a shot. Yo! Flamethrower. I still won. Oh my god. Yo, I won my own game, guys. I'm so proud. So proud. I forgot that he was a grass type. Sick. What's up, Coolahan? Okay, so we have this basic game now. It's basically working, which is cool, right? Which is cool. I'm actually going to, this message here, I want to print, here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to actually print a blank line up here. That way I can actually get rid of this one down here. Cool beans. What I missed in the chat here? I fucking killed it, dude. I'm proud, man. It's fucking scum of the earth, robotic Bulbasaur. Doesn't have a soul. Okay, so our game is pretty much fully working. I mean, yeah, it's not really like Pokemon. The enemy is just a robot, only has one attack. It's not like a real Pokemon. Because, again, we don't have random numbers yet. I can't really make it choose a move randomly as of today. But we had a pretty cool program running for being such simple code. We're using all of our attributes now, right? HP, attack, defense, all this is being used. Except for our Pokemon's type, doesn't really matter because the eye lasers only have one type. I mean, we could change that, right? Why don't we make eye lasers? Instead of having eye lasers, why don't we give it like an ice gun? Right? Let's say, I'm not sure what ice is strong against. Why don't we give it like a water pistol? All right. Let's give it a water pistol. So we're going to say, here's his turn, right? Shoots, its water pistol at Pokemon name. Right, then we're going to do some calculations here. We're going to actually move this message to the top, kind of like we did before with our other moves. Then we're going to say if Pokemon type is equals fire. We're going to say actual damage equals, Pokebot attack times 2 minus Pokemon defense. We're going to print off a message. Print. It's super effective. Right, so if it's a fire type, it does more damage to me now because he's got a water pistol. Then we're going to also say, if Pokemon type is grass, it's a water gun on grass, we're going to say actual damage equals, Pokebot attack, divided by 2. We're going to have potentially we're going to have a float there, no big deal. Pokemon defense, make sure it's an even number. We're going to print off, it's not very effective, right? Because you don't want to use water on a grass type, you just feed it. It doesn't actually say it's dead, so maybe it can be revived. Well, it's a Pokebot, Kenny. It's definitely got blown up. It's implied, right? It's implied. It's a robot. It's a video game. They don't just freaking pass out. They get permanently destroyed. You can rebuild it, though, of course. I'm going to say, else, if it's not a grass type or a fire type, it just takes regular ass damage. In any case, make sure that the damage is, at least 0. Cool. So now our Pokemon type is being used. So now all of our stats are being used, right? Now our Pokemon type matters. The enemy Pokemon type matters. Our HP, attack, and defense all come into play. The PPO comes into play. That's pretty cool, I think. Got our move list. I think we're not going to have time to really implement functions today. I would have liked to make this code more simple. And if you had functions, it could actually make it simpler to add moves. You could actually add more moves that way. It would be kind of nice. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out for being a one-day project. For being, for total beginners. It's like he wants to kill Pokemon. I don't want to kill Pokemon. I want to kill Pokebots. I want to destroy these soulless, machines before they take over humanity. Right? So I love Pokemon, but Pokebots are abominations. Okay, so for our first day of code, I would say not too shabby. If you enjoyed learning Python with me, go check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Vencabot archive. We have more programming streams there, more tutorial type stuff where we go over in more detail things like integers, strings, booleans, the different kinds of how you define functions and how these different functions work. That was in our last stream. Before that, we did some more kind of intro to Python type stuff, and even further back, we did some just me programming my own stuff, which would be like a Battleship online multiplayer kind of thing. Good vibe. I dispute you loving Pokemon. Good vibe. We don't talk about Pokemon Yellow, dude. Good stuff, Katori. Coming up next, guys, is going to be some Maple Story 2. That was released a couple days ago to the Western world. Me and my friends are going to play together some free-to-play MMO type stuff. We're more of a full-time gameplay stream here. We play a lot of games on this channel. On Fridays, it's programming, for the first part of the stream. So if you see me playing Mega Man Legends next week or Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, don't panic. We will program again on Friday. But yeah, we're really more of a gameplay channel here. Yo, good vibe. No, you didn't see me play nothing, dude. Thank you for the follow, XShotDown42X. And come back next Friday for more programming. I think next week we're going to get a little bit more complex, right? And we've been kind of, for the past, 4 programming streams, we've been dicking around with the day one stuff, right? The day one programming stuff. Variables, assignments, simple operations, strings and integers, right? But I think next time we're going to actually get more into defining functions, defining classes, methods, things a little bit more involved, but also very rewarding to learn. It helps your programs become much simpler if you know how to use things like classes. In this case, you can see we have all these loose variables, right? Lots of loose floating variables, constants. But in our next stream, I think we're going to actually make a object, like a Pokemon object. It will have attributes. That's really more how it's done, I'm sure, in the actual game. But that'll be for next time. A little bit more, day 3, day 4 programming type stuff. A little more intermediate level stuff. But yeah, we can always review next time as well. If you got to do some review for the beginner stuff, totally fair play. Thanks for the follow, Katori. Again, we'll be back on Friday, more programming. Guys, as usual, if you enjoy hanging out, want to keep the channel online, check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Vencabot. Even $1 is a huge help over there every month. Helps make the channel more sustainable in the long term. Again, I stream a lot. It takes a lot of work. And the Patreon support and Twitch subs are very helpful for helping me buy groceries and gas and things like that in terms of, I spend a lot of time on the stream, so it helps kind of offset that cost a little bit. If you're like me, you're totally broke, right? Maybe you enjoy hanging out, you love the channel, but you're not exactly rolling in dough. Help for free in that case. Get in the chat, come say hi. Makes it more fun for me, especially. Thank you guys for hanging out for this programming stream. Mavi, Katori, Carbanoid, all you guys that made it more fun for me. You can also help for free by following on Twitch. Tell your friends we're here and save clips. Not really a programming, but I'm like a gameplay stream, so the clips are kind of cool. Again, YouTube, you guys know the deal. YouTube.com/Vencabot Archive. We have lots of gameplay over there, about 1,000 videos, and some programming as well. I'm going to go a very short break, guys. Come right back with Maple Story 2. I'll see you guys very shortly. Thank you for hanging out, Katori. It's a pleasure having you, man. I wish I could have helped you more with your bot. If you join us on Discord, Katori, at Vencabot.com, maybe I can interrogate you more about your bot and maybe help you get that working off stream. Yeah, if you go to Vencabot.com, guys, you can join our Discord server. We have a channel there called Intro to Python where we talk about programming. If you go there and let me know about your problem, maybe we can get that sorted out over the weekend. That's true for all you guys. You guys have problems with your programs, things aren't working for you right, come ask us questions. Nothing makes me happier than getting somebody's code running. That dud cancel is so satisfying to hit, says Faust. Okay, now Dudley has the corner. Catch some guessing. Maple Story 2, I've been enjoying it so far, but it's not a really good game. Where's that lawn for punishment? You play it like a meme. Oh, good spacing. Nice. Yeah, first it's an inside joke. Maple Story, the classic version, is a game we all played as kids, as young kids. And it's a really trashy game, but it is very cute and very nostalgic. This version is we're playing it kind of like an inside joke. We played Maple Story 1 on stream. I played it last night to test it, and it's better than Maple Story 1, maybe a little bit. It is pretty brain dead though, but it's real cute. But if you're looking for like a really great game, I wouldn't play it. Yeah, Kenny, it's gonna have no nostalgia for you. The meme is lost on you. If you guys, we're playing, I think the only reason Zandu and the guys are playing is just to hang out. We're gonna all make fun of it together. But yeah, if you're looking for a great game, Maple Story is probably not it. Think of like Club Penguin, right? Or whatever else was popular at the time. It ain't no RuneScape. And even RuneScape ain't, 10 out of 10 game or anything. Is this a senile population? Oh, fuck. Yo, Kavi, there's a lot of bits, man. 300 bits? Damn, dude, thank you. I'd literally go get some fucking food after the stream with that. Yeah, good idea, Kenny. Good luck and Godspeed. Once again, we've been enjoying the music of my friend Albdat. Very cool guy. Let me use his music for free on the channel here. It's kind of ambient, kind of droning, kind of cold. And I find it's good for concentrating, for programming and studying and things like that. You can go get it for free at aubdat.bandcamp.com. That's AUBDAT. AUBDAT, aubdat.bandcamp.com. Free albums in FLAC or MP3 or whatever you want. Go check him out. Very cool guy.
Oh,
Let him know on
what
Twitter you
the
like his music
fuck?
at TC640B.
Yo, I have no fucking hatchet, man.